We're gonna look at this Lagler flip today and maybe listen to some NOFX if I can figure out how to put it behind my voice while I'm making this video for you. This is a sustainer. Some of them come with it depending on where you buy your Lagler flip. That's your wrench that you use to adjust your Lagler flip. That's the corner attachment. That thing's worth its weight in gold. And then here's the actual machine. We love our Lagler flip. And by we, I mean me and you. Let's figure out how to put the end of this thing on. So what we're going to do first is mess with the cord. This is before you start sanding. I like to use these straps right here. I get them on Amazon. They're pretty easy to get. I'll put a link in the video. You cut them to length. They're, I think, 2 inches, and they're hook and loop. It sticks to itself. So you put one of those little adjusters on wherever you want it, and then you can use these things at whatever length and whatever situation you want. So I like to put a vacuum hose on my flip. It comes with a vacuum bag, but it's cumbersome, gets in the way. But if you don't have a vacuum system, you should use that thing because it's fantastic. The fan inside of the flip works really well. So it'll put dust wherever you want it. You just have to have a nice place to put it. So this is sanding with the flip. We just got the cord and the hose situated, and now you can see I'm working some edges with it. That's actually the vacuum that I was just mentioning to you. It's a Husqvarna S26. I can show that thing to you guys later in a different video. But I went through with the drum sander in the field on this. You may have seen it actually in an earlier video. But then I went across the edges with the hyper grinder i4 wood variable speed. And I don't even usually do that. I usually will go straight from the drum to the flip. But I just got that hyper grinder, so I'm trying to use it in any scenario I can and kind of put it through the ringer. So that's all to say why there's not much on the edges here. But you can see I'm still working pretty hard. This is showing you technique. Usually I'll ride the wall like that and clear the material off, and then I'll come back like this and clear the scratches off. A lot of guys will do a circular motion at the end or put a little hook motion on the end, but that's too much movement for me and I don't like to. So that is what the planetary is for. So the same guys that want to run the planetary before the flip, so you do that. Here's another little weird scenario. That thing I'm sanding is actually like, I don't know, a toe kick thing underneath a bar stool set up in someone's kitchen. It's actually fixing a failure of some sort. I would imagine that the kitchen has different flooring under here, and when they remodeled it, they came up with this as a solution to remedy the missing flooring rather than tube it in. So you can see the flip's actually sitting like 3/4 of an inch higher than the floor. That's what that little strip is that looks like I'm missing there in the middle. That's the beveled edge of the board, and I'll go through and hand scrape and sand all that later. Not in this video because that's all boring stuff. But I will show you guys that stuff in a later video. I'll show you all the tools. So check this baby out. Just cleaning that edge up right there against the molding. And smoothing out my scratches. That's the big thing with the flip. It's your rough and finish. And like I always tell you guys, any step of the way you want to look like as close to your finished step as you can. So I'm going to switch the paper out. Maybe. No, I'm just switching positions so I can cut that back edge off. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm hovering the wheels up right now. Sweet NOFX shirts. I'm hovering the back wheels up. So this is actually a really hard cut to do. Some would argue I shouldn't do it with the flip, or I should put a board there on the floor right in the back wheel. But I did it. So now we're switching ends out. This is the corner attachment. Probably should have made a video putting it on, or put this video in reverse, but you'll get the idea. I'm taking the corner attachment off right now, and I'm going to put the regular attachment back on after I drop it. I'll put the regular attachment back on. This is important where I put my hands. I didn't show it to you, but you put your fingers in the back of the belt and kind of pull it and seat it onto the pulley. I just did that in like half of a second. It'll take you guys 10 minutes the first time you do it. It's a pain in the butt. I actually used to take the dust cover off every time to pull this thing on and off because I was so bad. with experience comes wisdom, and you know, something like that. I've got Blaze on there right now. I don't think I'm going to pay for Blaze on my flip anymore. It used to be worth it, but they have recently made red heat better grain-wise and backing-wise on the belts, which allegedly is going to come to the business soon too. But I think ever since Norton made the grain better on red heat, it made Blaze not worth the money. So what you'll see me using in the future is going to be red heat on that flip, because it works really well. It's a better bang for your buck. It's still ceramic grain. I use ceramic grain for all my finish removal, all my flattening, and almost all the way up to finish. I'll switch over to aluminum oxide, like Bona Black or something like that, for the very final pass. Yeah, I should have flipped these videos around, but now this is a sped up video of me putting that corner back on. Kind of a reverse of what I just did, but it's a pretty quick process, pretty easy to do. It's all right there in the sustainer. You adjust the wheels, that's big for the corner and for any of the wheel adjustment. Of course, I didn't do a demo of the corner because I'm still learning how to make these videos, and I'm still learning how to organize the content and stuff. So this is just going to be another video segment here of me using the flip in a normal scenario. Again, I think that I actually went in here cross grain or out of 45 with the Hummel. I try to put the Hummel on as much of the wood as possible when it's a refinish, and remove as much finish with that drum sander as I can. So I'll stick it cross grain in a closet or something like this, or down a hallway if I have to, not with a brand new belt, not to follow any plan. All I'm doing is set me up for what you're seeing right now. Now again, in here you can see there's radius edges and searching for an answer. In here just to test it out, like I did. Like a freight train runaway. Burns paper up pretty quick, trying to remove finish. It's a waste of time. It's really hard trying to finish disaster. Too much because it's trying to flatten and remove finish at the same time. And at the end of the day, you still gotta edge. So here I am working my butt off in here, edging after I worked my butt off in here with the planetary. So I bet if you could sand this exact same closet twice, I would probably do it quicker without putting the planetary on it first, and just ripping across it with the Hummel and cleaning up those cross-grain Hummel scratches and removing the finish and blending the two edges with the probably been NOFX, red, white, trash, transmexual diseases. I'll end up using like 3 or 4 pieces of sandpaper. When you find your plug punch has been spiked, even Eric Melvin or Fat Mike, don't expect any of all the Jesus. You've been vexed, cheeky sex, you book text, or NOFX. I'd actually bet it's closer to that. I should know. I don't spend thousands of dollars on the game show we invented to make you disoriented, cause it's still our job to keep on recording this video and leaning my phone against a gigantic stack of sandpaper behind it. So I buy endless sandpaper, and it's expensive, and it's a great business to be in, because us wood floor roof finishers use a ton of it. What am I looking at here? Since we're talking sandpaper here on my workbench, I've got Bona Black, like I mentioned, 100 grit that I use for very finished pass. Aluminum oxide will actually clean up scratches a little bit better than like ceramic does. Ceramic cuts really freaking hard, and
I didn't have an out-of-body experience
and for a long time, but
I never
once you've removed
saw
finish
light or a
and
pearly
flattened
gate,
the floor, and you've got like a decent looking product, you don't
then
really
they showed me
want
the death
ceramic
certificate
working like that
and
anymore,
said,
because at that point you're just removing
when your heart
too much
stopped, it
material.
took a while to
So,
resuscitate you.
You can switch to
I'm not dead
zirconia, but
anymore.
again, it does kind of as
I'm
much
not dead
aggressive
anymore.
cutting, at least on the front end.
I may forgot how to walk
of
in the
its
top,
life
but I
as
still
ceramic,
know
so
how to live.
I jump down
I wasn't
to
given a
black
funeral.
paper, which is aluminum oxide.
I wasn't
which
given
is
a
like
wake.
your standard.
I'm Jesse Lee, I'm a woman who's got a lot more to
That was
give,
just a quick rundown
and
of the
even
three
more than I'm
different
gonna take.
grains that are used currently in today's technology for sandpaper. But at any rate, the aluminum oxide,
I don't remember the night
it
the burning
scratches
angel
less,
killed
and
me.
so it will leave less micro scratch, and it's
I
kinda
do
just
remember
cleaning
Joanna
up
was
after
her
all the
name.
stuff that you did before it. So
I don't
yeah, I've got
remember
6
the
inch black
terrible
for that,
guilt
that'll
she
throw
must
on
have
the
felt.
planetary. I've got bone
Even though she
green
knew
ceramic
she
bead
wasn't the
grit,
one
egret,
to
like that cutoff,
blame.
you can switch to black there.
not
but
dead
I still like to cut at 80 usually.
I'm not
sometimes
dead
I'll finish
anymore.
before 80. Natural finish.
I may forgot how to act and react, but I still know
hard wax
how
oil
to
or
love.
water base.
I never
Not
felt so
all. Usually I'll go to
beautiful.
200, but I don't
never
mind
felt so
finishing 80.
awake.
I think that a lot of like
I'm
the
Jesse Lee.
stuff you
I'm a
hear
girl
from
who's got a lot
guys
more love
about
to
micro
give.
scratch
and even more than I'm gonna
about
make.
finishing up at super high grits and stuff like that is really just to sell sandpaper, to be honest with you, because like micro scratch is going to be on any floor ever, you know.
Liars are weak minded cowards drawn to other liars who feel good about themselves cause fantasizing is much easier than dealing with your life cause knowing the facts and the truth will never set you free. You always gotta tell a lie to keep your sanity. It's just the way it is, the way it's gotta be. So pick your favorite hero, rock star, or the most palatable deity. Cause freedom's just a catchphrase no one wants to admit. Is that we choose to be slaves in this busted capitalist dictatorship.
Not to say I'm ever going to leave a closet behind. I insist when people like try to get me to, I'll ask them like, well, hey, can I
If you
step
haven't
out
read
of this
Dostoevsky, you're gone, you'll never know how to live. You won't
I'm just saying, you know, I don't
reach
spend
the
too
side
much
of wall and
time
realize it
focusing
doesn't matter how sincere
on
or
the
warm
super
you are.
hyper fine details because I'm looking at the forest a whole lot more than I'm looking at the trees. Although I do look at the trees a lot too. Here's one more quick trip of a flip. This is a different job actually. You can see it was in the summer. I've got shorts on and different shoes, but I wanted to show like a standard flip scenario, and this is it right here. So you can see me go left to right. I didn't planetary, so that's typical. I drummed right up to the edge. You can see where the drum stopped. I don't leave heavy marks. I try to feather, but this is classic flip technique for me. So at the end, right there, where I stop and start, guys will criticize me and say, well, you're supposed to do a J hook or whatever, but it puts so much more movement on your body and it's unnecessary. So no J hook. Watch it. So left and right. Look at it just mowing it down, mowing it down, mowing it down. So you're just using the edge of the sandpaper. This isn't loading the sandpaper up too much like a planetary does. If you hit all that at once with the planetary, all the 6 or 7 inches of finish right there, what that does is loads up your sandpaper with finish and heats it up, and it makes it wear down prematurely. So at the flip, you get to raise the back wheels, and that makes the front edge of the sandpaper cut more aggressively. So when you see me go left to right, I'm just using the edge of the sandpaper, and that's why it's just cutting so nicely. It's like, mowing down board to board, making it flat. And so the reason you want to do this after you hummel, and you want to hummel really well first, is because the wheels of the flip are riding on that surface that my feet are standing on. And so you want to use those wheels as sort of your telegraphing surface to make sure the front of your flip is riding nice and soft too. So that wheel, nylon wheel, on the very front of the flip is fantastic. So you just set it with the same adjustment wrench that you use to set the pitch of the wheels on the pack, and it rides against the baseboard or the wall or whatever you're standing up against. It helps keep you real nice and steady, and it's just a great setup. This is by far, in a way, the best edger in the world. And I know Lagler sent me to Germany and put me up and showed me around, and it was fantastic. But I said all this before that, during it, and will after. Lagler's by far the best thing.
You
to go apply for flying sand because they do it for all contractors. It's like a little Willy Wonka lottery type thing.
Cause it's still our
contractors are going to come and train. So we've reached the end of the video. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to show you a selfie of me because it's going to make you want to click subscribe and comment and like and all that. So I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.